Did you know that stories can help you learn English faster and more naturally than grammar books? When you follow an adventure in English, your brain picks up new words, grammar patterns, and sentence rhythm without even realizing it. This story is one of those learning adventures. So, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell because every week we bring you exciting stories to help you learn English the fun way. Now, let's jump into today's story. The wind was strong, and the mist hit his face like tiny raindrops. Jaden stood near the railing, eyes wide, heart racing. In front of him, Niagara Falls roared like thunder. The water moved with wild energy, crashing down with such force that the ground almost trembled. He had never seen anything like it. Jaden had been traveling across Canada for 2 weeks, and this was his final stop before heading home. He had saved Niagara Falls for the end, like dessert after a good meal. And it was even better than he expected. He pulled his camera from his backpack. It was a small one, but it had taken great photos all through the trip. Mountains, lakes, forests, even street art in the city. He had captured everything with it. Now he wanted the perfect shot of the falls. He walked carefully to a spot with fewer people, closer to the water, but still behind the safety railing. The mist was heavier there, but the view was better. You could see the shape of the horseshoe, the white foam at the bottom, and the endless flow of water above. Jaden wiped the lens with a cloth, held the camera up, and leaned forward slightly. Click, click, click. He reviewed the shots on the screen. Not bad, but he wanted one more. A close one. He took a step closer, held the camera out, and just as he pressed the shutter, a strong gust of wind hit him. His hand jerked, and the camera slipped from his fingers. He reached for it, but it was gone. It hit the railing, bounced once, then fell straight into the falls. Jaden froze. For a few seconds, he didn't move. He just stood there, staring at the place where the camera had disappeared. It was as if the falls had swallowed it. His heart sank. That camera wasn't expensive, but inside it were all his photos. Memories from 2 weeks of travel. Hikes through snowy trails. Meals with strangers who became friends. The mountain sunrise he had climbed 4 hours to see. All gone. He stepped back from the edge, completely soaked now from the mist. His hands were shaking, not from the cold, but from the shock. A group of tourists walked past, laughing and pointing at the water. Someone offered to take a photo of their family. A little girl waved at a rainbow forming in the mist. And Jaden stood in the middle of it all, feeling like a ghost. He walked slowly to a bench and sat down. His backpack was wet. His clothes stuck to his skin. He rubbed his eyes with his sleeve, trying to think. What now? He could go to the visitor center. But what would he say? I dropped my camera into the falls. Can someone dive in and get it? He almost laughed at the thought. No. There was no getting it back. And still, a part of him wanted to go back and look. Maybe, just maybe, it had landed on a rock. Maybe someone would find it later. Maybe a miracle would happen. But deep down, he knew the truth. The camera was gone. For the next hour, Jaden walked along the edge of the falls. He watched the water. He watched the people. He watched the sky change colors as the day moved on. He didn't take any more photos. But something strange happened. Without the camera, he started noticing more. The way the birds circled above the water. The way the sunlight hit the mist and made tiny sparkles. The way the roar of the falls mixed with the laughter of children and the footsteps of tourists. He smelled popcorn from a nearby stand. He heard a song playing on someone's speaker. He saw a boy pointing excitedly at the water, his hair blowing in the wind. Jaden took a deep breath. This wasn't the day he had planned, but it was still a beautiful one. He walked toward the quieter part of the park, away from the main viewing area. He sat on a low stone wall near the river, where the water flowed more gently. He took out his notebook, the one he used for writing thoughts during his trip. It was a little wet around the edges, but still usable. And he started writing. He wrote about the fall. Not just the camera falling, but the feeling of falling into disappointment, into silence, into stillness, and then slowly rising again. He wrote about the colors of the mist, the way strangers smiled at each other, the way losing something sometimes helped you find something else. When he finished writing, he looked around. He didn't have photos to remember this moment, but he had the memory itself. Clear, raw, real. Jaden stood up, took one last long look at Niagara Falls, and smiled. Not everything had gone as planned, but he would remember this day forever. And guess what? You just learned a ton of real English structures and vocabulary without even noticing. That's the power of stories. They teach you while entertaining you. It's like learning by magic, and every new story brings you one step closer to fluency. If you enjoyed this story and want more like it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new story. And now it's your turn. Have you ever lost something important while traveling? Share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear it. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep smiling through the journey of English.